Hey everyone, hi guys and girls. Welcome to Beyond Consciousness. If you're into spooky stories, you are in the right place. In this episode, we're diving into the crazy world of life spells gone wrong, since you girls just want to jump into situations and not know what you do. Y'all are crazy. Anyway, ever wondered what happens when love magic just backfires? I bet you do. Spoiler, it's not pretty. So grab your snacks, grab your blankets, grab your candles, and let's get into this tea, honey. Lego.
I want another love spell story because I'm on a roll today. Somebody just submitted this one to me and this one is good. I can't believe you guys are this unhinged. Let's get into the story time. This one is T. We're gonna call this guy Andre. Andre was the one who submitted this story to me, and Andre's Jamaican. So Andre was in a relationship with this girl and they had a very tumultuous relationship. That means for whatever reason the relationship was always toxic. It seemed like they were always getting together and breaking up, getting together and breaking up. Until one day Andre was like, I really cannot take this no more. I really want out of this relationship. I want nothing to do with this. He said that a couple months went by and one day he just felt the urge to just get back together with the girl, so he did. He said that he would later find out that this girl was into some dark shit. Unbeknownst to him, this girl had other plans. She was tired of the back and forth. So after they got back together, Andre said that they always had like a super close best friend relationship where they could tell each other anything. So one day as a joke, she winds up saying something along the lines of, you know, for a second there, I was scared. I didn't think my stuff was working. I didn't think it worked. I didn't think I was gonna get you back. So then Andre asked her, like, what do you mean by that? And she said, as a joke, what if I did Obia on you and that's why you're here? As a joke though. They both laughed about it and moved on. He also mentioned that upon them getting back together, she was really pushy in terms of sex. He said that he was never the type of dude to run a red light, okay? But one day during that time of the month for his girl, she really wanted to do it, and she convinced him, and they did it. Keep in mind that this girl had already met Andre's parents, and Andre mentioned that his mother never liked his girlfriend. But you know, Jamaican parents are hard to please. One day, the mom came up to him and said, son, I had a dream. Like, I really don't like that girl, you know? I had a dream that your grandmother came to me and told me that she was working Obia on you. Do what you want with that information, but I don't think you should stay with her. Andre is a spiritual dude. Andre's a spiritual dude, but he's like, Obia? I don't know. So he decides to go home and he sat his girlfriend down and started by saying, I know what you've been doing to me, just to see if she would say anything. He said that my mother came up to me and said that she had a dream and went on to tell her what the mother's dream was. And he said, well, does that sound familiar? And homegirl would say, okay, so now here's the tea. She said during one of their back and forth, she said that, well, she read somewhere that blood is a very powerful ingredient to binding. And mirrors are also very powerful magic tools. So she thought, why don't I just combine both? She said that one day she missed him so much that she wrote his name in blood in the mirror and she stood in front of it and summoned him. She was also saying affirmation like, you're obsessed with me, you want me, you love me, you can't leave me alone. She said she didn't think it would work because she had only did it once and it took him a while to get to her, to get back together with her. And she also brought up that time that they did it while she was on her. He said he was utterly disgusted that she would even do something like that. He said he left. He said he did a cleanse on one of the beaches. He wore all white and then walked into the water, dunked his head to try to cleanse himself and get rid of her energy or her spirit around. Well, he successfully stayed away from her. But she, on the other hand, cannot leave that man alone. He says that this girl is literally obsessed with him, like showing up to his house, obsessed with him, get cussed out by his family and still comes back because she wants the man that bad. She told him that if he doesn't get back together with her, that she will unalive herself. And she attempted. Her family found her, took her to the hospital. And when she came back home from the hospital, guess who was the first person she went to go see? Andre. And Andre says that it's gotten to the point where she done fought his mama. It's gotten to the point where she done fought his mama, his sister, his cousin. She done got jumped. And that girl don't care. She want that man. He says that she doesn't present as a physical threat to him, but he's definitely afraid for the ladies around him because she has also showed up to his dates, sat on top of his car, and refused to get off the car because he was with another woman. And now he's thinking about moving because he cannot get rid of her. And the craziest thing is he didn't do nothing. She was trying to get him to be obsessed with her, but some way, somehow, I never heard this before, but a Uno reverse happened and she winded up being the obsessed one. Golly, that was a good one. Thank you, Andre.
You guys have to stop putting spells on just random people, and you need to start working on yourselves. Get yourself a shadow work notebook. Get yourself some prayers or anything, but you have to stop doing that, guys. Like, it could have ended much worse. It could have been that whoever this person is living with or whoever loves them perhaps put a spell on them of protection without them knowing, or they're a very praying family and you perhaps don't know that side of, the person that you're trying to put a spell on. And some people can be quite dangerous in the sense that perhaps they have a protection around them, whereby if anyone does something to them, it will just bounce off and go back to the person, which I think happened in this case. Stay safe, ladies.
Love spell magic is not what it appears to be. If you've been told by any witches or any manifestation people that, doing a love spell is a good idea, then I'm sorry. They may have sent you astray and not on purpose. So everyone who is witchy vibes knows that love spells exist, right? But the thing about love spells is we live on a planet of free will, okay? So when you do a love spell, you are essentially going against someone's free will, which means there's going to be some bad juju mixed in with that, okay? So when you do a love spell, yes, if they are not protected, the energy will go to them, unfortunately. And because we live on a planet of free will, it is going to essentially, they do have to have some sort of feelings for you already, okay? Whether it's even hatred, whether it is like a liking of you, if they already like you in some kind of way, it will magnify that. They do have to have some kind of feeling for you. Now, if you do succeed and get them to love you, okay, which, you want someone to love you for you and not for a spell. But anyway, I digress. If you do succeed, this spell is going to backfire because you are going to be obsessed with this person. The fact that you're already doing a spell to get them to love you is already an indicator that they have too much power over you already, okay? And I don't mean to say like, oh, when you love someone, it has power over you. But when I think love is when it's a mutual thing. That is love to me. So if you love someone and they don't love you back, I don't think that's love. That is infatuation. And you will become even more infatuated with that person. I just had someone to ask me if I can do a love spell for them, for someone that they like. And I immediately said no. I'm like, I don't mess with that. I've seen people do it and it has backfired every single time. So yeah, you will be times 3 more in love with them than before. And they will, it's not gonna last. If you do get them to quote unquote love you, it's not gonna last for them. It's gonna wear off. Magic is powerful, but at the same time, the free will that we have on this planet protects us, and it is more powerful. Okay, I have seen people under a love spell, and it is not pretty. It's not magic you want to mess with. So love yourself, okay? Focus on love, and someone who is meant for you is gonna love you because you're worth it. Focus on yourself, guys, okay? And don't be putting that magic out there. Just do the manifestation stuff, do the self-love stuff. You got it, babe.
Honestly, I don't have anything to say about that. I think she is very self-explanatory. I'm not here to judge nobody, okay? I have done love spells before. I'm lying, I did it. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, do whatever that it is that you feel like you need to do. I don't believe in judging people and trying to force our own ideologies on people. Everyone comes here for a different path, a different reason. Perhaps they're supposed to walk down this path so that they can learn about self-love. It's not our job to intervene and try and force anything. But I'll say this, if you're someone that is if you got these 2 ears, just heed with caution.
I'm coming to you looking like this for a reason. I need you guys to all see how bad I look right now. I just got back from Starbucks. I did my attraction ritual. I know I look gross. I already know. My hair is greasy. I gotta wash my hair today. I did an attraction ritual 2 days ago. It has only burned for 12 to 14 hours. And I had to stop it because nobody warned me that my attraction ritual, the blood love ritual with the 7 angelic beings of love, beauty, and self-love, nobody told me that I would be receiving messages from married men, every single guy staring at me, looking like this. Nobody told me how crazy this ritual was, because I never did this ritual myself. I've been, engaged for 2 years, so I never did this ritual myself. So I had no idea what it was all about. I just knew how to conjure up the spirits, and I knew how to do the proper necessary steps for it, but I've never tried this ritual on myself. And I'm never doing this ritual on myself again, because this is crazy. I have been receiving messages all night on Facebook, Instagram. I have been receiving messages from my guy friends professing their love for me. I have been receiving messages from married men, random people on Facebook. Every time I go into any store, I went to Dollar Tree, I went to Starbucks today. The guy behind me at Dollar Tree was whispering weird things in Spanish. And then I went to Starbucks, and there was somebody there who clearly had a whole business meeting going on. So it was a bunch of finance people or something. They were all staring at me. So I'm literally never doing this ritual again. I don't like this type of attention. I don't even think I look good. I can't handle people being that obsessed. Now, most of the time when I do this ritual for people, they have one particular target, and 80% of that energy goes towards that one person. Me, like a pendeja, made it open-ended just for beauty, and now this is the predicament that I'm in.
Now, I just know that there is some girl out there saying, oh, it works. Bitch, what do you mean? I'm about to cut myself. But anyway, so when you are seeking love, you're going to attract all sorts of characters. We always think that when we put something out there so that we can attract a partner, we think we're going to get all the best ones only, but we're going to get the good and the bad on you. So you have to be very specific. Be very, very, very specific about what you're looking for.
Okay, so here's a mini story time about the time I did a love spell on somebody when I was in high school and just starting off as a witch, and he became kind of scary and obsessive. So I was in high school. I can't remember if I was 14, 15, or 16. I'm pretty sure I was 14 or 15. And I just started getting into it, and it was actually one of my first spells. I just started working with Aphrodite too. I built an altar for her, a mini one. And I'm laughing because I'm dating myself here. I had a mini altar and an NSYNC tin lunchbox. And one of my grandfather's old speakers that were gigantic, he was a huge music person, where the wires were all taken out. So I had an altar I hid in there as well for her. And this guy kind of knew who I was. I kind of was that invisible person in high school. People never really called me by my name. I had 1,000 nicknames. He was by no means a popular kid, but the kicker was he was a super, super Christian. But anyway, so I did this love spell with the red candles, all that, with Aphrodite working with her. And I show up to school the next day. And I told my friends, because at the time it was ooh, hee, I did a spell. I'm 14, I did a spell. And this kid, I see him in the hallway, and he turns around and he looks at me and he's staring at me. My friends are freaking the fuck out, right? And it was here in this moment I had known I had fucked up, because it was the way he was looking at me. It's kind of in The Craft, where he's the lights are on and nobody's home. And I am telling you, for the next 3 days, he was following me around, and he wasn't talking to me, but he was following me. Again, barely spoke to this person before. If he's watching this, I'm so fucked. And I was a very shy kid. I'm still kind of shy, believe it or not. So when he finally came up to me and he started talking to me, it was the look in his eyes and the energy that freaked me out, because it wasn't him. And I remembered he tried to kiss me, and I freaked out, and I went home and I undid the spell, and it worked. Thank God. I mean, But at that age, I came to realize that magic is very real, and not to mess around with certain spells.
Child, not Twilight. Not my Twilight. Anyway, it's definitely giving Breaking Dawn. It's giving vampire. Like, that is crazy though. Like, even though she like speaks about it so casually, I'm just thinking like in the moment and while it's all happening, that must be so scary. Like not being able to recognize the person that you have a crush on, and they being completely out of their mind. I can't even imagine what it must be like for them. Like imagine like interacting with someone that like you used to know, or like you have a close relationship with, you know how they act, and then they're just like, you know what I mean? Like that's just, I can't even imagine. Y'all are strong. Y'all are the OGs.
Happy Saturday, people. Sunday. Sorry. Happy Sunday. Excuse me. I'm sitting here watching YouTube, right? I'm watching Miss Luna Nova, right? And she's telling these stories about love spells. And that reminds me, I got a love spell story. Not my story, but a family member story. It's my cousin. So, back in, I would say 2020, 2021, my cousin, I would go over my aunt's house and I would, visit her and everything. And my cousin stayed there with her at the time. And one day this guy comes up. And my cousin, she was dealing with this guy before, and I guess they reconnected or relinked or whatever, right? So after that, I would see him often because I would be at my aunt's house like faithfully every weekend, like faithfully. Because I would work Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday I'm outside, I'm at auntie house, right? So I went from there, and then my aunt moved on the same street but a couple of houses down, and he ended up moving in. So my cousin ended up having a baby girl from him. And throughout the midst of, from the time I first saw him until the time they, conceived a child, and my little cousin, right before my little cousin was born, my cousin was actually pregnant with their daughter. And, my cousin had a rough pregnancy too. But anyway, so I would see so many crazy things between them two. Like, they would fight all the time. And I'm not talking about no regular fighting. This would be like knockdown, drag out, like fist fight, breaking property. And he was one of them dudes where if you get mad, whatever he bought you, he took it back. Like, she had these $10 slides, I think, or $6 slides. She said he bought her from Walmart or City Trends or somewhere. And he got mad and he took them all because something dealing with jealousy. He was super jealous. And I would always ask my cousin, like, girl, like, why do you put up with that? Like, y'all are way too toxic. If it get to the point where y'all got to put y'all hands on each other, y'all don't need to be together. Like, what's wrong? And she was like, I don't know why he act like that, cousin. I don't know. He just, he's always possessive and he always acting all jealous of every little thing. And he won't let me breathe. He just always up my ass. He won't let me breathe. So I'm talking to my auntie. So we sitting there chilling. And this particular day, it got real crazy. So my auntie had to ask him to leave the house. So he leave the house. And my cousin called the cops. I think she called the cops on him or whatever. And he ended up coming back. Like, she was like, I'm done with him, this and that. This was the day he tried to take the little $6 slides. And she was like, I'm done with him. I don't want to be with him no more, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm the type of person, I hear you, but I believe you when I see it, right? So, fast forward like a couple of weeks later, a month later, he right back there. And I'm like, and I asked my auntie, I was like, what is it that them two just can't leave each other alone? Now, all this time, I would ask my cousin, why? What happened? She would say, oh, I don't know why he acting like that. Auntie spilled the beans. Auntie said they went somewhere. Now, mind you, we live in Tampa, Florida. So she was like, they went somewhere and they did a love spell. And I looked at my auntie, I was like, they did a what? She was like, they did a love spell. I was like, and my eyes got big. And my auntie was like, well, I said, auntie, that is very dangerous and that is very deadly. I was like, at this point, I don't even know if that spell can be unbinded. A lot of these love spells, once you do them, you can't undo them. I said, and it's scary now. This turns it up a whole nother notch because someone can end up unalive from this situation. That's how strong these love spells is. And that explains why he is so possessive and won't leave him alone. And she, act a little nonchalant about it and downplay it, while she can't stay away from him either. So they went back and forth through a lot. I'm talking about the fact of crashing cars with the kids in the car, him crashing her car, like chasing her. One day I heard about a car tool, like a wrench or something getting involved, hitting somebody or throwing somebody. He got beat up real bad by some dudes, and he ended up having to eat through a straw, and he was still in Auntie House living with them, and he went right back. Like he would go to jail, get out. They back and forth. Them two went back and forth. To this day, I don't know how they got away from each other, but I don't know if the spell wore off or whatever. I don't know, but to this day, she has somebody else, but it took a long time, knockout, drag out, like years, for them two to finally leave each other alone. So I say to you females out there and you men, don't be out here doing these damn love spells, bro. For real now. That shit is retarded. If you got to manipulate someone's free will to be with you or to love you, then motherfucker, you unhinged. Something is wrong with you. And if you don't live your life spiritually every single day, and this not even just with love spells, this with any spell. If you don't live your life spiritually every single day, just like a religious person, if you're not religious every single day, don't run to no spell or no spell book or no spells when you need something. Because 9 times out of 10, you're very ignorant, which means uneducated about what you're about to get yourself into and what you're doing to yourself or others. And like I say, these love spells, they literally can turn deadly. And I mean that, deadly. So I just had to get on here and share that quick story time with y'all. Watch what you're doing. Don't be out here doing no love spells. Okay? Alright, y'all. Love you. Toodles, family.
Alright folks, that's a wrap on our dive into love spells gone wrong. Remember, magic can be a tricky thing, and it's always best to tread carefully. If you enjoyed this roller coaster of a ride and want more wild stories and insights, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay in the loop. Your support means the world, and I cannot wait to share more with you. Catch you next time, and stay enchanted.